Hey everyone, so Citadelle has been out for a week now in Black Ops 6 Zombies, and I wanted to give some first impressions, first thoughts of the map. I've done the Easter egg, I think, twice now. I just finished it on solo like 20 minutes ago. I played the map quite a bit, and I was already a pretty big fan of Black Ops 6 when it started, and I really liked Terminus, and I thought Liberty Falls was like fine, it was good enough. And I was really looking forward to Citadelle because I thought it had the potential to be really good. And I would say it mostly lived up to the potential. I don't think it's like as good as other people are saying. Like some people are saying it's their like top 5 map. I think that's a little crazy, especially when the map's only been out for a week. Some people are saying it's the best of BO6. I could see that. I kind of think I might still like Terminus a little bit more, but I need to give these maps a little more time to kind of settle in my mind because I don't think I could rank Citadelle more at the moment. Like it hasn't been out for that long. But yeah, so far we got it's pretty fun. It's pretty I really like it. The setting is really cool. It's like a castle, like the Reisendrak, but it's not the same kind of castle. Reisendrak was like castle up in this like super elevated on a mountaintop. You can like see a large valley below you, and it was like super snowy, and it looked like a research facility. Whereas Citadel de More, you start in the village, and then yeah, you start at like a super low point in the map and just like really work up, and I think that's really cool. Like seeing the spawn up from like when you're along like the castle walls where the line cannon is, and like you see down where you spawn, and I think that's actually a pretty cool visual. And yeah, just the map in general, like it's just nice to look at. There's just a lot of like cool rooms, and I do like how they're starting to mix in the chaos and but for better or for worse, mixing in the Vanguard stuff, because, I mean, honestly, Vanguard was not worthless. Like, Vanguard was fine. But, like, okay, sorry. Vanguard was not good, but it's not worthless, I think is what I should say. Like, there are some redeeming qualities, but I would not say that is a good lesson for Treyarch to take, saying that Vanguard was good. Vanguard had some things that were good, but I would not call it overall good. You can't have half of the experiences not be fun to play. That's just not good. So yeah, I really like the setting. I think I still really like the setting of Terminus more potentially. I think Terminus is just a really cool map. I might also just be like the launch map and waiting so long to get the launch map to come out. And waiting so long for BO6 that like when I finally got Terminus to play, it's like, oh my god, we are so back. I think that's why maybe Terminus sticks out in my mind a little more. Whereas Citadel, we're like, yeah, this map's probably gonna be good because of the wonder weapons. And like they've already cooked, so hopefully they would cook again. And I would say they did. Overall, they did. New perk. We got Vulture Aid back, and it's mostly similar to how it was in Buried. Like it's definitely had some like slight adjustments, especially with like the gas cloud now being moved to the augments. I think that's fine actually. The base effect of it is dropping a little bit more points, some more ammo. I think that's totally fine with me. The perk of the critical kills dropping, like having a higher drop chance for salvage, is pretty great. I actually feel like I notice it. I notice I'm like, wow, I have a lot more salvage than I thought I did. And yeah, it's pretty nice. I'm a big fan. Of course, it wouldn't be helpful if you're not using weapons that go for crit kills. Like if you're using like the whatever the Mustang and Sallies are in this game. I think this is the GS45. I actually have never used those pistols. Or if you're using like a launcher or like the melee weapons or the wonder weapons, you're just not going to make use of that. Or like the ray gun. You just will not make use of that ever. But I don't know, it's still fun. I like the perk. I do like getting it now on Citadel just so I can get some extra points saved up in the early game. Get things going on my upgrades a little bit sooner. So I think it's nice in that aspect. It is a little bit of a bummer that it's really nice on Citadel and that I just can't use it for like early games on Terminus and Liberty Falls because it's stuck in the Wonder Fizz, which is around 25 gated. So like it's okay. It's not the end of the world. The new enemy on this map, the Doppelgast, I actually think he is totally fine. I think he's pretty solid. Don't really have any issues. I think it's a little annoying sometimes how like they do run fast and that's fine, but it just sucks when you don't have armor and you just take a shitload of hits because you cannot do anything when you don't have armor in this game. Especially if it's like the 30s or even like the boss fight, for example, if you don't have armor, you just die. It's pretty brutal trying to do anything in this game when you don't have armor on like a higher-ish round. That's just a flaw with the armor system and like how damage scaling changes each round. Yeah, it can be a little bit annoying, but other than that, I actually do really like the double gas. Like, it can spawn a lot of them. Like, I think I did like 2 round 40 games the past couple days, and like it spawns a lot of them. As in, I was using them to do my opal challenges for my assault rifles, and I was able to get like 1 done per game up to round 40, 1-ish, which is pretty good. But like, it spawns a lot of them, but they don't have very much health, so they die pretty quickly if you can hit the 2 heads on them, and I think that's perfect. Like, they get 1 tapped on insta kill. I was pretty sure on like in the 30s when I was killing them, they were getting 1 tapped on insta kill with like, I don't know, one Model L or like an XM4. Like, I think that's a good sweet spot. I don't like that amalgams are back though. I think that's a little bit annoying. Like, they're okay actually. Yeah, like I don't love them. Like, I think they were fine on Terminus, but I don't know. I think amalgams in like close range areas or like close quarters areas can be a bit of a pain in the ass because there's a higher chance of it feeling. It feels like there's a higher chance that I'm gonna get pulled into my horde and like get cooked because I got stuck in a really cramped area by an unlucky amalgam grab. It is fantastic that you can parry them with the wonder weapons. That is like the best thing about the wonder weapons, is that you can parry amalgam grabs. I think that's so good. You don't take any damage for it, no armor damage, no health damage. It's fantastic. The one thing that is really annoying though is that it's happened, I think, like twice, 3 times now. This might just, I don't know if this is a new bug, but like, I have my friend playing with my friends or playing with like Adam and my brother, and then they get a grab an amalgam and then it throws them into a wall and then they're stuck in a wall. Like, that's happened to Adam once, I remember, and we had to do an exfil without him, which was like fine. But imagine doing that in an Easter egg. We were like, fuck. It was so annoying, and I think that happened. It happened in a different game. We're like, I don't want to reset, and he like popped a perkaholic for it, and we're like, what the hell do we do? So I think eventually we just had to do, I don't remember what we did. We had to do something to get him out. Maybe we just had to get him grabbed by another amalgam or something. But I don't know, it was really annoying. And then I was playing with my brother on Terminus, and he got stuck in a wall. The only way he could get out is, thankfully, he had a nowhere but there gobblegum. Yeah, he had a nowhere but there gobblegum, so I had to down myself so he could pop nowhere but there to get off of the wall he was stuck in to come to me. So I had to drop my perks so he could get out of a wall because he got stuck in it by a glitch. I think that's really stupid. They need to fix that. That is very frustrating. But yeah, once they patch that, amalgams are like not that bad. Like, they're okay. I don't really love that they're just using them again, but overall they really aren't that bad. But you know what is good though? The wonder weapons. I love the wonder weapons. They're great. The fire sword's the best one, in my opinion. I like it the most. It's just really fun. I wish the upgrades for all of them were a little more. Like, I had this problem with Ancient Evil as well, where the wonder weapon upgrades were so just like boring and like lame. And I don't know. I just wish wonder weapon upgrades were more hidden and more complicated. Like, I'm one of those guys. Like, they're still even more simple than they were in Horizon Drag, and I wish they were not so simple. Like, the fire sword is you literally put it in a pedestal, make 3 really easy runs, and then you're done. Like, what the hell is that? I think there should have been some soul boxes or something, or just some extra challenge to get those cauldrons lit. Like, something more. And then, like, the lightning one's a little better because you gotta do a bit more extra stuff, and then you also have to get, like, dead wire to shoot the electric box. Then you need to pick up the sword and, like, bring it into the dungeon, and then wait for the lightning rod chest guy to spawn, and then you pick up the one near dead shot. Like, that's fine. Like, I just wish there were more. Like, the void was like, oh, it's gonna be complicated, and then it wasn't. And you just look at a chart, a dial, and then you just lead some orbs around. It's like, okay, that was it. I don't know. And then, what are the light sword? The light sword's also piss easy. It's literally just wait for get 4 parasites spawn immediately when you pick the light sword up, or like the bastard sword, and then you bring them over, and then you just put them one at a time in the door, and then the code's the exact same every time. Like, that's not, I don't know. It just feels a little lame. It doesn't feel. I think I hated it more in Ancient Evil because the gauntlets didn't look that cool to me. And I was like, oh my god, this is just so boring. And then the water bombs run out of ammo so fast. I'm just like, ugh. And that was an Ancient Evil problem. But this, obviously, they have infinite ammo, and it finally gives use to melee macchiato because it used to be doo-doo and had no use. But now if you put on the augment, that makes it so you get health back when you do melee. I think it's a vampiric extraction. Vampiric extraction, yeah. Now it's amazing. And melee macchiato, I buy like every game I play on Citadelle Daymore. Like there's no reason not to, because this wonder weapons are just so fun that even though I'm trying to do like camos and stuff, I'll still do like one or two of the upgrades just to have them around. In case I'm like, you know what, I've been doing camo challenges, let's just play a round or two just messing around with the swords. And I think that's great. If I was to rate my swords in like preference of how much I like them, fire sword's my favorite one. It's definitely the most fun to use. It's kind of funny that you do need PhD to use it without taking damage. I think that's actually fine. Like the big ass explosion, fair enough that I need PhD for that. The light sword is the most helpful one because you get, if you have a full charge and you get kills with it, you get a little bit of shield back and armor. That's really nice. But like, it's okay. I don't really like the light sword. I like it, like it's cool, but I don't know, the fire sword's just cooler. The void sword's really sick. I honestly have used that one the least because I don't know. I've just used it the least. And then the lightning sword is my least favorite one. It feels like the charge shot does no damage. Although I do like that it kind of looks like you get dead wire proc when you get, that might have just been elemental pop. No, I don't think it was. Yeah, it looks like when you get lightning sword kills, sometimes it'll proc like a dead wire on the sword, even though you don't even like technically have dead wire. And I noticed that it looks like it's proccing Shadow Rift sometimes when you get kills with the Void Sword. And then like obviously Napalm Burst, and then the other one's Light Mend. It's like yeah, I think that stuff is really cool. And then even the incantations that are part of the Easter egg, I think those are pretty cool. I like that there's special grenades for this map, and then it's particular to the elements of the swords. I think that's really cool. The quests to get them too are pretty quick. They're not too long to get, and they're all fairly usable. The Void incantation's kind of weak, or the Dark incantation, it's a little weak, but like all the other ones are pretty good. Especially the light one. If I'm in the boss fight, which I'll talk about shortly, I'll keep the light one on me, because if I'm about to die and I have a horde of guys behind me, I'll just pop the light incantation, and then I'll have the light mend pickups ready to go. Speaking of which, light mend, cool. I like it. I think it's really cool, and I have basically no issues with it. I'm still working on getting all of my augments for it, but yeah, I fuck with light mend. Light mend is a sweet ammo mod. Have not used Tesla Storm that much, but if it's the same that it was in Cold War, then I'm going to like it, because I liked it a lot in Cold War. I was a very big fan in Cold War. Yeah. So the Easter egg. Oh, I talked about the incantations. I don't like getting the fire incantation. I hate that you kind of need to spawn it with Molotovs, and like if you miss one, then you gotta like craft one, or you gotta wait for it to drop. It just like feels like you're wasting time. Shooting the Raven can be a little bit annoying to get the Void one, but it's like fine. It's not the end of the world. And then you pick up the Crowfoot, and then you're done already. I actually kind of think the lightning one's kind of cool. How you like shoot off the horseshoe and then take the cannon to get it shocked, and then go to a storm nearby where it gets launched to. I think that's actually fine. I think that's pretty cool. I like that a lot, actually. What was the last one? The light one. Oh, the light one is the coolest one, though. Because me and Adam and Enzo, we found out that on our very first playthrough of the map, the day it came out, when we didn't know anything about it, and people were still trying to do the Easter egg, we played it when it came out, and it was really sweet. Finding out that laser puzzle. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, it's not really a puzzle, just like align the things, and we thought it was part of like the water weapon upgrades or something, but it ended up being part of the incantations. And I think that's pretty cool. One thing I did not mention about the water weapons is I think that it's annoying that you need to wait till round 10 to get the stamps. I think that's a little stupid. It just feels like an unnecessary like round gating. That like, oh, the whole game is just let's burn until we get to round 10. Just speed run everything to get around 10, or be like, get all the incantations ready to go for round 10, then you can start doing swords. Just feels like you're just like, ugh, everything's just dependent on getting to round 10 fast. And I don't really love that. That's something I didn't love about the map. It's not like sure, it's how fast you can go, but I don't know, it doesn't feel like you're making progress. It just feels like you're burning rounds so then you can start making progress. Whereas on like Horizon Track, for example, you're filling up the dragon heads, or Mob of the Dead, you're filling up the dog heads. Or I mean, Origins kind of did have that problem a little bit, but I don't know. I think there was enough other stuff going on Origins that it didn't feel as egregious when you're like waiting for snow rounds or waiting for waiting for robots does suck actually. Yeah, waiting for robots is dog shit. I hated that. No, I don't know. I just don't love the waiting till round 10 for the stamps, but yeah. The Easter egg. I guess once you get the incantations, not really much else going on. You have to like, hit the door, and then you have to put in the code that you see from the bottles in the tavern. That's like fine. I don't really love that I have to take pictures of it because I'm not gonna remember what those look like. I gotta be honest. I don't know that good of a memory. I have a pretty decent memory for some things, but not for things like that. And then you like pick up the pages in the room. The pages are really weird spawns, I noticed. I think you can only I actually see the pages when you talk to Craft as well, which took me a couple games to realize because I'm like, why are the pages like not here? And then they spawn when you talk to Craft. So, yeah. And then you go to the traps. Like I think the trap thing, it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's like fine. I don't like I don't like love those steps, but I think they're kind of cool. The step I do like though is I think it's fun when you have to when you get the incantations, get all the swords, and then you have to do the incantation and then salute on each of the knights in the order that's on the door. I think that's kind of fun actually. I know people were like, this does not feel like a real step, or like when I was reading the steps when they were found out, and I was like looking them up, and people were talking about have to salute the things and do the weapon inspects. I was like, what the hell is this? But no, I think it is. It feels thematically appropriate, and I'm happy with that. And then, yeah, you get the Mystic Orb, and then you have to do the elemental challenges, which are pretty fun. Those aren't too bad. I like those actually quite a bit. And then, yeah, it kind of feels like, it almost reminds you of like the end of the Horizon Direct Easter egg when you have to go follow the Keeper around and go fill up each of the Keeper stones. It kind of reminds me of that, so I liked it. It's like, reminds me of that, but it's not the same thing. And I think that's cool. It's not just like you have to get kills with the Wonder Weapon. It's you have to get kills with things that have that specific element. So like the incantations or like the special abilities of the swords. I think that's pretty cool. I'm a fan of that. And then, yeah, then you go into the secret room, you get some Sori, some... What's the guy's name? It's like Guy de Saint-Michel. I think that's what the guy's name. Or Michel de Saint-Guy. No. Guy de Saint-Michel. I think that's what the guy's name is. You get some, the owl, get some story stuff about him. And you pick up the guardian key, and then you're on the boss fight. It feels, when I lay out the steps like that, it doesn't feel very long, but it is actually pretty long. Or not pretty long, but it's got some length to it. It's not like Liberty Falls short or anything, thank God. That would be a real shame. But then you get into the boss fight, and the boss fight is hectic as hell. It's pretty fun. That is one of those scenarios where it's like, as soon as you lose your armor, you just kind of give up. Or like, if you don't have Jug in that boss fight, just end the game, man. Like, you just need Jug. You need your perks for that boss fight. So you do also need, and I don't think I could beat the boss fight without it, is the fucking PhD flopper augment that makes you slide farther. You'll be seeing in the gameplay is that I'm using that constantly because it's so helpful. I think it was a little confusing first trying to figure out how the boss fight worked with like shooting off this section of armor and then shooting that like part of him as well. I think that was a little bit confusing on the first time. You're just like, I'm just going to keep shooting him and see what happens. Also notice that the damage scaling between players is crazy. Like on solo, it felt like he had like a reasonable amount of health. On 2 players, he feels like he has so much. And 3 players, he just feels like he has an insurmountable amount of health. But yeah, I like the boss fight arena. I think the arena's sick. I like how on each phase it kind of closes in on you. And it kind of felt like a Destiny boss in that way. And I liked that. I thought I was a pretty big fan of that, honestly. Yeah, I like the boss fight quite a bit. I gotta do it a couple more times to really solidify my opinions on it. But like, still, and the music was really good too. I really like the music. And yeah, so like overall, pretty good stuff. I think the only one thing I gotta talk about with the map is the AI debacle with everything that's been going on with Call of Duty in general. It is a shame, and Activision, you are scummy as fuck for doing this. But like, us as players, all we can say is like, no. But I'm not one of the people that are gonna stop playing the game because, like, yes, the voice talent is very important for the life of the game, but like that's not the only thing that keeps me playing this game. Honestly, I play a lot of these games without audio. Like, obviously, if I'm doing Easter eggs and stuff, I'll usually listen to audio. But otherwise, I'm listening to like YouTube videos, I'm listening to music when I'm playing. Like, I don't think I'm not gonna stop the game because the voices are being changed because they won't sign agreements to use AI, which they shouldn't. They should not sign those agreements. I agree, and it is scummy that they replace the voice actors. But I'm still going to be playing this game just as much as I have been before. Definitely the only one that like really stood out to me was as soon as I loaded up Citadelle and I heard the Sam voice. I was like, that sounds different. And I thought that it was like, oh, they're just gonna make her sound more edgy or like sound different in each map to show like the AI getting something happening to AI, and it would tie into the story later. And I thought that was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I went to go play, and then I finished the Citadel Demore Easter egg, and we heard all the quotes with Sam, and then right after that, I played Terminus with my brother, and we did the Easter egg, and I'm like, oh, Sam has been completely replaced in this map too? That's not a coincidence, and I thought that was very stupid. They just like 100% replaced all of the original voice actors' lines, voice actors. And then that's so stupid, dude. It's like, did they not realize, did they not know that I played this? I've done this Easter egg like 10 times. I'm gonna notice it immediately when Sam sounds different. I was like Prestige 6 when I started playing Citadel. Like, I've played this game quite a bit. I know what the Sam AI sounds like. It's like they just wanted us to forget that the old one existed. It's like, I don't know what you're trying to do, man, but it's not working. Like, yeah, that's so stupid. I don't know. I did not love that. I thought that was really ridiculous. And then now it's just every single time I hear it, I'm like, but that's not the original voice. Like, it's still fine, but that's not what the original voice was. And I'm sure the new voice actress is doing her best job, and like she's doing a totally fine job. Just you just can't beat the original, unfortunately. And yeah, I wish that was not the way that she went out. Was the company being scummy? But yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. It is unfortunate, but I'm still going to be playing the game, and I'm still going to be looking forward to DLC 2 with whatever happens in the story, which I'm going to avoid talking about in case people haven't done the Easter egg yet. So, yeah. Overall, better than Liberty Falls. I'm still torn if I like Citadel or Terminus better. I don't know yet. But Citadel, yeah, it's a really solid map. That's a good DLC 1. If they can keep up the same kind of quality for the next, ideally, 3 maps that come out for this game, then BO6 is going to be cooking for its whole year. I'm expecting a long period of time before the next map comes out. Like, I think 1 month was pretty short between like launch and then DLC 1. I think they should have waited a little bit longer, because now probably the gap to the next map is going to be like February or like March, which is fine. But I'm like, I don't know why they waited, or they did not wait. So now the gap to the next map is going to be even longer. But I don't know, unless they happen to make it shorter, and that would be kind of crazy. Like, I mean, it depends on what they decide, whenever they decide to release it, but I am not expecting DLC 2 until, like, February at the earliest at this point. Like, no way. Well, actually, even then, no, I'm probably not expecting it until March. But no, Citadel is really good, and I think I can see why a lot of people do like it. I still haven't solidified my opinion on it, but I understand why people like it. I don't think top 5, though. That's ambitious. We'll see how it ages. And then I think it's also important to compare it to like other maps in the game. So like once we get the full year, then I feel like I can really make a good assessment on how that map holds up compared to all the other ones. But yeah, for now I'm gonna say Citadel Demore gets a solid thumbs up for me, and I think, and my original first impressions of the game as a whole, I said please keep doing what you did in Terminus. And they kept doing what they did in Terminus, and that is all I could have ever asked for. So just keep going and make Easter eggs a little more difficult, please, and maybe a little bit longer. Like the speedrun being half an hour, and like the average game being like a little bit like an hour and 15 minutes. Like, it's okay. I wish it was a little bit longer, but you know what? It's fine, I guess. But no, Citadel Demore gets a thumbs up for me, and I hope that they continue to make the next maps interesting. And yeah, I'll be continuing to play this for a while, and check out my channel in a little bit when I will probably try to stream the Terminus boss fight around 50 again, because I fumbled the last one because I forgot I had Frenzy Guard and Chopper Gunner like a dumbass. So yeah, thank you guys all for watching, and take care. Hope you're enjoying the map.